Good afternoon and Happy New Year. Today is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. It's the first meeting this month of the City of Tempe Hearing Officer. My name is Vanessa McDonald. I am the hearing officer. I'm going to read something into the record and then we'll go ahead and jump into our pretty brief agenda this afternoon. The City of Tempe Hearing Officer is authorized by Arizona Revised Statutes and the City of Tempe Zoning and Development Code. The hearing officer has the duty to carry out the provisions and the intent of the Zoning and Development Code and the Tempe City Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to decide upon the abatement of code violations occurring on properties within the City of Tempe. These violations include, but aren't limited to, deteriorated landscaping, inoperable or unregistered vehicles, deteriorated structures, graffiti, storage of junk or refuse, or deteriorated swimming pools. Abatement actions are brought before the hearing officer by the city's Code Compliance Division, typically after numerous attempts at contacting the property owner to obtain voluntary compliance. The hearing officer may issue an order directing the owner, occupant, rental agent, property manager, or other responsible person to remediate a code violation or authorize the city to abate the property. The cost of the abatement is the responsibility of the owner of the property where the violation occurred and is collected as an assessment against the property found to be in violation. On today's agenda, we have 3 items. We have a set of minutes from December 6th, 2022, and we have 2 property abatements. A previously published agenda had 4 abatements, but agenda item number 4 is now in compliance, so that application has been withdrawn. And number 5 has new ownership, so we're going to go ahead and re-notify the owner of the property that's out of in violation of the code. Any property owner who's aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer may file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. The deadline for appealing any decision rendered today is 3 p.m. on January 17th, 2023. Appeals are heard by the Board of Adjustment, after which they also may be appealed to the Superior Court. A property owner has 14 days to either file an appeal or bring the property into code compliance within this 14-day window, and that window starts today. If neither of these things happen within the required time frame, the property will be abated by the city. Joining me this afternoon from Community Development are, to my left, Drew Yoakum and Cassidy Hernandez. So now we're ready to jump into our agenda. As I mentioned, we have a set of minutes from December 6th, 2022. I had a chance to review those minutes in the packet that was sent to me by Cassidy. Thank you. And I believe they accurately reflect what took place at that hearing. So I'm approving the minutes of December 6th, 2022. Agenda item number 2 is a request for approval to abate public nuisance items at the Beck Developments LLC property located at 1101 West University Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe, represented this afternoon by Code Inspector Michael Glab. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. I'm Michael Glab, Code Compliance Inspector with the City of Tempe's Code Compliance Division. I'm here this evening in reference to request an abatement for the property located at 1101 West University Drive here in Tempe. This case was initiated on June 26th of 2022 for graffiti. One complaint so far has been received by my office. I've had no face-to-face contact with anyone associated with the property. Tenants were contacted by telephone, and I reached out to the provided property management information they provided. And unfortunately, nobody, beyond leaving voicemails for folks, I never heard back from anybody. On July 26th of 2022, I visited the property and observed a violation of city code related to graffiti being present. I then sent notice to the property ownership. On August 9th of 2022, I visited the property and observed a violation of city code related to graffiti was present. I then sent a second notice to the property ownership. On August 25th of 2022, I visited the property and observed a violation of city code related to the graffiti remained. I then phoned the tenants at 4:45 p.m. that day and obtained property management contact information that they relied upon. Phone calls were attempted to two numbers that were provided, and unfortunately, both numbers were disconnected. On September 21st of 2022, I visited the property and observed a violation of city code remained related to the graffiti. I attempted one more phone call to a new property management number that I had located, left a voicemail, and requested that I hear back from them. Unfortunately, there was no return made. On October 25th of 2022, I returned to the property, observed a violation of city code related to the graffiti remained present. I then located one additional possible property manager contact and left an additional voicemail for them. Unfortunately, nobody responded back to that one. On November 7th of 2022, I visited the property, observed a violation of code remained related to the graffiti. I then submitted my abatement packet for tonight's hearing agenda edition. Today, the 3rd of 2023, I visited the property and observed a violation of code related to the graffiti remained present. At this time, I'd like to present two photos which I've taken today showing the largest offending section there on the wall.
Perfect. Thank you.
So this would be taken from the alleyway that is on the south side of the site. It is facing the south and is on the east side of the complex. But it's several feet in diameter and height, and again faces public right-of-way, the alleyway.
Okay.
This is a second photograph taken several feet down of a second area that was hit, again several feet in diameter, facing public right-of-way. There are one or two spots with small, several-inch graffiti taggings just a little bit to the side, which I'll be asking them to address as well. But this is the largest offending area that the photographs indicate.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, I know the city of Tempe likes our public art, but I think this doesn't quite meet that standard. Mr. Yoakum, is there anyone here wanting, or anyone on the line wanting to talk about this agenda item?
No, Madam Hearing Officer.
Okay, and for the record, there's no one here in the chamber wanting to speak on this agenda item. The meeting's only attended by staff this afternoon. Well, I agree with your assessment. I think you've gone above and beyond in your efforts to try and track down the property owner and the responsible person for this. So, and it's been ample time since July, so I'm going to go ahead and approve. Did you ask for 180 days or?
At this time, I'd like to seek 180 days in the event that it does get tagged again, and obviously there's some difficulty in locating a responsible party for the
Right.
site. So,
Yeah, I want to give you 180, so if it's tagged, we can quickly go out there and take care of it. So I'm going to go ahead and approve your application for abatement of the public nuisance items contained in application CM 221292 for the property at 1101 West University. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. Have a good evening.
You too. This brings us to the third item on our agenda this afternoon. This is a request for approval to abate public nuisance items at the Hofstetter property. This property is located at 820 West Libra Drive. The applicant is City of Tempe Code Compliance, represented this afternoon by Alima Dia. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. My name is Alima Dia, and I'm a Code Compliance Inspector with the City of Tempe Code Compliance Division. I'm here this evening to request a 180-day open abatement for the property located at 820 West Libra Drive in Tempe, Arizona, 85283. This case was initiated on September 7th of 2022 for overheight weeds and grass along the east, west, and front area of the gravel landscaping. I have not heard from the property owner since the property has been in violation. On September 7th of 2022, I visited the property and seen weeds and grass along the gravel landscaping area, which include the east, west, and front area. A correction notice was mailed to the property owner. I re-inspected the property on September 23rd of 2022 and sent a final correction notice. On October 7th of 2022, I placed a pink tag on the property door asking the violation to come to compliance by October 11th of 2022. I re-inspected the property on October 11th of 2022 and the violation was not in compliance. Therefore, a citation was issued. Ms. Oversteller failed to appear, and the citation was sent to collections. On November 8th, 2022, an abatement packet was completed for the front yard gravel landscaping area, which includes sides and front of the property, to be remedied. At this time, I would like to present pictures that I took today.
Thank you.
This first picture shows the west side of the property, and it shows over-high weed and grass going along to the side of the front area of the property. As you can see where my finger's at, that's where the west side of the property. This picture shows over-high wheat and grass along the front and east side of the property, which is by the front door, and also on the east side of the gravel landscaping area, as well as the middle and center area of the gravel landscaping area. And on the east side of the property is just dirt landscaping, which is not in violation. As stated before, I am seeking a 180-day abatement for over-high weed and grass in the gravel landscaping area, which include the east, west, and front area located on 820 West Lieber Drive in Tempe, Arizona property.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the photos from this morning. Mr. Yoakum, is there anyone here this afternoon or on the line? Sorry.
No, Madam Hearing Officer.
Okay, thank you. Once again, for the record, there's no one here in the chamber wanting to speak on this item. I noticed you want 180 days, and I agree with that, just because with weeds, no sooner can you spray them and get rid of them, and then they can grow back, especially with all of the rain that we've been having. So thank you for your multiple attempts to reach out to the property owner. I understand they've been non-responsive. Is the house vacant that you can tell?
Yes, I believe, the house is vacant,
Okay.
and I have not heard from the property
So
owner.
even more of a reason to, keep eyes on it, keep it in check and with the code. So I'm going to go ahead and grant your application for 180 days to abate the public nuisance items at 820 West Lieber Drive, contained in application CE 225349. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes our agenda this afternoon. Any announcements?
Yes, Madam Hearing Officer, just the one. Our next scheduled hearing officer meeting is set for Tuesday, January 17th at 5 p.m. That will be here in the Tempe City Council chambers, as well as live on Tempe 11.
Perfect. And I understand we had a decision on one of the appeals, and we have another matter that's been appealed.
Correct, yes. So there was a determination already on one appeal, and there's another appeal set for this month in a couple of weeks. That'll
Okay.
go to the board.
Okay, thank you. Well, we're done with our business for today, so thank you and have a good night.